All right, everyone. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hope everyone's doing well. Let's give it a few minutes for everyone to get in here. How did everyone do yesterday? What's up, Bobak? Tyler, how you doing? What's up, Genuine? John, Pete, LJ, Profits. What's going on, everyone? Good morning. Yeah, yesterday was crazy, but that's expected. It's very expected. So again, right, fading the initial reaction worked. Yes, it was choppy in the beginning, right? We were going back and forth multiple times as Powell was speaking, but in the end, right, that same method I mentioned that has about a 95% hit rate worked again, right? You fade the initial reaction. All right, so we saw that first move up at 2. He started speaking. It went up to about 402 or so, 402.6, whatever number that is. And after Powell was done speaking, right, we saw a huge move to the downside. Absolutely massive move. Right? So not only does that method work, but look at the chart, right? Rising wedge worked out perfect, right? Multiple bounces off this, right? Multiple bounces off this resistance. Take a look at where we rejected, right? So not only did that Powell method work, but the chart worked perfect, right? Previous support, previous resistance. This trend line from the highs here rejected perfectly, right? As soon as it pulled back through here is where I took puts. I took puts here. Price target was this first target here. I ended up taking profits around this level, and it started chopping back and forth, but it ended up going more. Nothing we could do. Yep, Square is down 20% here, pre-market, based off the short position that, what's his name, Hindenburg, or what was his name, let me see. Yep, Hindenburg Research, right? They announced their short report. It's crazy how this is legal. Like, it's totally market manipulation. I can't believe the SEC allows it, right? They take a short position and they announce it the next day. And now they already have a 16% profit on their comments. It's actually unbelievable, right? It's totally illegal. It should be illegal, right? It's just not fair, right? Imagine we could take a position, post on Twitter, and the stock goes down 17% the next day. It would be impossible to not lose. It's totally market manipulation. Right, same with what's that other one? The other fund that always does it. Starts with a C. I know I follow them. CI maybe? Oh yeah, Citron Research. Citron always does it. All these funds do it. It's actually impeccable. Right. So now they're probably selling already, right? So I mean, if you get 17% profit in one day of trading, most people are going to take that every day. Common, especially on a multi-million-dollar position. Let's take a look though. All right, so VIX still just hovering to the downside, right? It's sitting below this flag. And now it's just consolidating within this range here. Nothing really, too important now, right? There's really no setup here. Let's take a look at SPY. Right, so SPY up 0.4% here in pre-market, right around 393.72, sitting at this previous support, right? Previous resistance, previous support, turned into a resistance, and so on, right? If this rejects, right, we have way more downside to go. If this moves up, right, we're going to look to take a short around 396.59. I don't think we break above that. If we do, right, next level above is the 400 level, right? I really don't think we will, right, based off yesterday's price action, this rising wedge here and the amount of resistance that we have above, right? There's a lot of selling pressure up here above, right? We have multiple levels here that should act as resistance. So I'm going to be looking to short the pops as of now, right? Things might change, but as of now, based off the chart, I want to short any pop. Let's see what happens. Qs, right? Qs, let me delete this chart. Everything looks sloppy, right? So we have this initial trend break. Okay. Then we have this little flag, right? Perfect market movement, right? Flag, continuation. We broke this trend line here, right? Previous resistance acted as resistance again. Oops. And then we pushed up to the highs, right? Rejected the highs perfectly and came back down. So now Qs are sitting right at this previous triple top. You watch my previous videos, you really like put at resistance. That's exactly how everyone should be trading, right? You have the best opportunity and the best risk to reward if you're taking calls into support and puts into resistance, right? Think about it. Support is an area of support, right? It's going to bounce off that level most of the time, right? You could be playing breakouts, right? There's two different strategies, right? So if you take calls at support, right, you have a stop loss below the support and a price target back above, right? Or if you're playing a breakout, right, if you're taking calls into resistance, right, you have a stop loss below and a price target above, but typically, it's not going to move as far, and you want to, the time frame of the trades are totally different. So there's a strategy for every single kind of trade. You just need to make sure you know what you're doing, which it takes time. It takes time. So, right, Q's at this triple top here. If we do see a move up, we're either going to push up to this resistance here, 311 or 313. But we'll see, right? I would consider taking puts into resistance here. IWM right back in within this range at a massive quadruple bottom here, right? 171. If that breaks, we should see a move, to 169 or so. Yeah, around 169, 160, 168 or so. Okay, keep it going. Microsoft, so this is actually, it worked out perfect. I mentioned this chart yesterday, right? Perfect high tight flag, right? Stop loss would have been below, entry point right here, right? Took the entry here, pretty much hit the target perfectly right before. This is why I like to take profits before my actual target, always, right? And sell it into strength every single time. What's the best time frame for support and resistance, Robin asked? It's going to be the same on every single time frame, right? I'll show you an example, right? So this double top here, right? I'm on the 30-minute. It's going to be the same thing on the 2-hour, right? It's going to be the same thing on the 3-minute, right? It doesn't really matter, right? But the higher time frame, the more significant the level is, right? And the more touches there is, right? The higher time frame, the more accurate your data is going to be. So time frame, it doesn't really matter. It matters, for emotional purposes, right? When I'm trading on a 1 hour, I'm not gonna, get faked out as much, right? It's gonna be a much slower move, or it's gonna look slower, right? As opposed to if I'm looking at the 1 minute, right? Every single candle looks like the market's tanking, and it's it messes with you psychologically. Okay. Square right now down 16%. Not really gonna look at that. You're very welcome. If everyone could drop a like on the video, I would really appreciate it. Also sub if you're not subbed. I live stream basically Monday to Thursday, and then Friday we do spaces. We're only at 25 likes. If everyone could drop a like in the video, I'd really appreciate it. Amazon up 1.2% here in pre-market, right? We have a nice double top here as well. We can redo this trend line now, right? So from these lows, we actually have a perfect trend line. Actually, I'm just going to redo the entire thing, right? Just so you guys could see what it's like, right? So clean resistance at this level, just like and subbed. Thank you very much. Also, thank you everyone. I hit 15,000 subs. I had no idea. I didn't even know I was over 10,000. I don't really look at it. I just stream every day, and that's about it. But that's crazy. That's actually crazy. So appreciate every single one of you that's always stopping by in the morning. I hope you guys learned something. This is like take it as like a one-on-one lesson. If you ask me a question, I'm going to answer. Right? I try and answer every single one of you. This chart is solid, right? And right now I'm going to go from this right here because there's more touches across the board, right? So I know a lot of you ask, do you go from the candle or the wick, right? So just, I'm going to go like this, right? More touches, right? We also have this here, right? Sort of a rise and wedge, right? Amazon right into resistance looks pretty, this is a great short opportunity. Huge downside below with a stop loss at the wick, right? 102.10, right? The risk to reward on this setup is fantastic, right? Let's see. Short position, right? So if we take an entry here, stop loss above, and our price target could be here, right? So just this is a 3-to-1, right? And then if we actually use the full downside target, it's about 6-to-1, right? So great risk to reward. First price target would be this previous zone here, right? Previous resistance, then it acted as a support, which is why I picked this level right here. Thank you very much, Sai. Hopefully I'm pronouncing it. Subbed on 2 accounts. Thank you. I appreciate it. I almost had 200 of you. Crazy. All right, let's keep it up. Yeah, we also have a little gap fill here. So Amazon looks really good to the downside. I'm going to keep an eye on that. But if it does break this 101 level, right, we're most likely going to push up to 102, right? So someone asked me yesterday, do I think that this is going to happen? Just, in a general case. I don't really, right? So the way I answered his question is, I don't think, I just do, right? If you're thinking, you're most likely going to make an emotional decision, right? You always have to have the mindset of if this, then that, right? If this level breaks, then you do that, right? If this level breaks the downside, then you do that, right? That's how you have to think about trading. Try and remove your emotions completely, right? A lot of people will say it's impossible to move it completely, but I'm pretty sure I've mastered it, right? I have zero emotion when it comes to trading. I don't know how, experience or something, right? Some people will say, it's impossible, but I feel as if I have mastered emotional trading, right? I don't care if a position goes down 70%. If the chart looks good, the chart looks good. And all of you have seen that multiple times, right? I've held positions down 70% and closed them green, right? And I'm able to do that also because risk management. I'm sizing correctly, right? Because I'm sizing correctly allows me to just play the chart. And charting is extremely simple, right? Support, resistance, no indicators, no, EMAs, VWAPs, volume profiles, nothing, right? Support and resistance, and that's it. Trading about 10 years. Yeah, 10 years. No, not diamond hands. It's following the chart. A giga chat. So this setup looks great, actually. Definitely going to keep an eye on it. Microsoft, right now we kind of have this set up here. Can remove this, remove this. That chart is, this chart's going to be different. Let's go on to the next setup. Netflix, perfect breakdown. Right, we had this resistance here. Right, so this is the chart I actually covered yesterday. Right, it was actually mentioning perfect short opportunity, right, and it ended up working out perfect. So now we're opening up at 302. If this rejects, great short opportunity again for a move to the downside to 285 or so. I started trading when I was 16, so put it together. And what's funny is I've told this story before. It's a really good story. I'll make it quick. But when I was in college, I was a business major, but I took a lot of different investing courses. And my senior year, there was this trading course, and we started with, right, so the final project, we all got a paper account of $1 million, and the goal, or the challenge was the person who can turn the million into the most money gets an automatic A, which was insane, right? And I wasn't good at taking tests, so I always had like C's. I turned the $1 million into $7.5 million in one semester. Paper money, right? So fake account, but 1 million to 7 million. The next person below me turned their million into 1.3. My professor was blown away. Crazy. Great story. I still have a good connection with him. Let's keep it up. So Netflix, right? Nice support here. Perfect breakdown. Now we're back in within this range. Just need to see this resistance above hold. Keep it going. NVIDIA sitting at this high here. Not really a good setup, or not really a setup that I would take. Apple, right? No really setup. Nothing that I'm going to look at this morning. Tesla, potential short opportunity here, right? We have this double top that we created yesterday, right into this previous resistance. So now we have a triple top on Tesla at 200, right? So if we got to push up to 200, I'm going to look for puts, right? And play that rejection to the downside. We also have a huge gap to fill to the downside. So we'll keep an eye on that. Is it good for participating in a trading competition? I mean, yeah, it can't hurt. Right? It's definitely going to test. It's going to put you through a legit, test. I don't use extended hours, low volume, not really relevant. Exactly, James. Um, I'm really just going to be focusing on Amazon today, SPY, and that's about it. Amazon and SPY and VIX. No, I'm just self-taught. I taught myself. BABA, I know one of you wanted me to check BABA. Up 4.7% here in pre-market. Right. Every time we've gapped up, we've seen a fade. Right. Gap up, fade, gap up, fade. Overall downtrend so far. Need to just, see how it reacts. Right. We have this huge level here that we're opening at. Right. We bounced off of it numerous times. February 24th, 28th. Right. March 1st, March 6th, and then we rejected it perfectly. Also back here. Right. Look how the levels always work out. Right. Back in July of 2022. Right, August, end of August, September, this level acted as a massive support and a resistance. Right. So if this 88 level can break, we should see some continuation. Log I use off. I don't really think it really makes it. The chart looks the same. Just the numbers are a little different. Steve-O asked, I'm new to all this, lost 150 in 4 days because I'm clueless. Any advice on how to actually make money? Well, one, it's going to take you a long time. It takes everyone a long time. Two, learn support and resistance. Three, it's going to take minimum 6 months to become consistent, minimum. Learn the charts, learn how support and resistance works, right? Support, resistance, supply, demand, pretty much the same thing. There's no one best way to trade, right? If someone's telling you there's one best way to trade, it's most likely they're probably selling you something. And, it's probably one of those fake gurus. But there's multiple ways to trade, right? Everyone has, a different opinion, different risk tolerance, blah, blah, blah. So learn from multiple people, try and find a mentor so you can avoid mistakes that they make. And it's gonna take time, right? It's not a get rich quick scheme, right? Yes, it can happen. You can get lucky. But majority of the people, aren't going to. Yeah, average person, could be 2 years, 3 years. The hardest part is the emotional aspect, right? Seeing red is a huge factor. Yeah, we have the whole course with bull trades, so definitely hop in, and we'd be willing to teach every single one of you. So I'm just looking at Amazon and SPY here at open. But with that being said, 5 minutes to market open. If everyone could drop a like on the video before you head out, I would appreciate it. I'm gonna hop in voice chat on Discord and make sure we're caught up with all the other analysts that are on voice chat. So let's switch over. I will see you all there. Appreciate everyone stopping by.